You got the touch.
This is Stan Bush, and this epic video from Optibotimus truly has the touch.
Coming at you with another video review, and today we're going to be taking a look at the new Transformers Generations Fall of Cybertron Blaster with Steeljaw. Now Blaster is the version of this mold that I actually really wanted. Soundwave I have no interest in whatsoever. The reason behind it because I think the deluxe version of Soundwave works so much better in a display. Having a Voyager size of him just really kind of throws the scale off, and I just don't care for it too much. Plus, if you remember from the G1 days, the Blaster toy was always bigger than Soundwave, so I like this so much more. One thing that I just really actually noticed is the image here on the artwork is reversed than what's actually on the toy. You got the little blue bit here on this side and the Autobot logo on that side, whereas the toy, that's reversed. Now you see, as I mentioned, the nice illustration here of Blaster and Steeljaw, and then when you come around to the side, though, you get the rest of his minions. You got Ramhor, Eject, Rewind, all that stuff. I forgot what they call him. Sunder, that's what you have down here. These will be available separately, and I'll probably be picking those up at some point in time as well. Come on here to the side, though, you see Series 1, figure number 4. Then on the back, you got his communication truck mode as well as his robot mode. The image here of Steeljaw, which I like the color on this one. He's very yellow. I mean, this coloring looks a whole lot better. It's kind of more of a gold kind of color, whereas this is just really yellow. So maybe the Takara one would be better. I don't know. But you see the data disc here sits inside of his chest, and we'll get to that here in a little bit. But really kind of cool. You got his G1 style tech specs, absolutely fantastic. And it says Autobot Blaster has amassed an incredible collection of music from across the galaxy. From hundreds of worlds, he's gathered the loudest, fastest, most brutal, ear-splitting, guitar-shredding rock and roll he could find. When you charge into battle alongside Autobot Blaster, you are accompanied by the thunderous soundtrack of which the mightiest Viking would approve. Absolutely love that. You see his actual blaster, which has a very nice kind of G1 look to it. Very, very cool. One thing that I think my friend Bolt Matrix actually mentioned this. It seems like the boxes are now kind of upside down. They used to be kind of like this. And to illustrate that, here's Hotspot. See how it's like the side is cut off? That's how it kind of used to be. So it's kind of weird that they reversed it so it's like this now. But hey, whatever. So there you have Blaster. So let's get him open and see how cool he actually is. Alright guys, so here we have Blaster open up out of its packaging and in his Cybertronian communication truck mode. Now, I honestly, this actually has impressed me a whole lot more than I thought it would. But one thing that really does kind of suck are these data discs. Zooming in so that you can see, there's a little kind of crazy looking design on there. Kind of reminds me of the Mayans. Wonder if it says that the world is supposed to end at some point in time. But you got a nice little Autobot logo there. And then you flip around on the back end, you really don't have anything. You got the button to activate its transformation, but that's about it. Now, I really am not a very big fan of these. And if this is how the other ones are going to be, I'm probably going to be very disappointed in those as well. But for Steeljaw, really all you have to do is drop him, and he transforms. And as you can see, that's him. Except he doesn't transform completely all the way. His legs are still not all the way out. You actually have to rotate these around like so. And now you have him transformed. And you can straighten out his arms and stuff, or his front legs. But this is Steeljaw, and it's not bad. I would imagine that he's got a different face sculpt than Ravage, but this is from what I've seen the same mold as Ravage, just a different color. It's interesting what they're doing, but I don't like the gimmick on it, honestly. And the incorporation into Blaster really isn't all that good either. He stores in Blaster, and that's cool, but the ejecting thing just really kind of fails, if you ask me. And this is really, I mean, it's yellow, so it's very bright. Now, to transform them back, you just take this, you rotate these around, kind of tuck that in there, kind of straighten that out, bring this over. Oh, and I'm sorry. He also has a tail that I didn't bring out, so that's the proper transformation with this tail. So you tuck that back in, you rotate this up and around. You fold this over, and then these you tuck back under and then rotate these. It's kind of a pain in the butt actually to transform it. You push it in here, then you rotate these around, holding it all together, and then just push it back in here, and you have him back in his data disk mode. Now, he will store in Blaster's vehicle form. All you have to do is come around here, kind of straighten that back out. You have the button right up inside here that is also going to be there in robot mode. You just push that down, and it pops it open. And because of the transformation, the cavity goes all the way back here. So you take this, and the instructions actually show you to put it upside down. So I'm going to do it upside, and by upside down, I mean the Autobot logo is upside down. So we're just going to stick that in there, and well, maybe. And it doesn't line up too perfectly. You got all these bits that kind of stick out, and it's really, I don't like it, honestly. The gimmick isn't very good, if you ask me. But there you go. You can push him in there, and then you can see that it kind of detaches the whole thing, and like he pops back out. Now, you can't eject them, so you can put it here, push this open, but again, if you have it like that, it's not gonna come out at all because it's pointing up. So you have to angle it so he becomes like a cannon. And then you just take this and you can slide this forward just like so, and then push it all the way, and God, and because like I said, you can kind of see it jacks up inside there. So oh, there we go. So it goes flying. Now I wonder if I put it in backwards, will it go in backwards? Because the button here to transform them is on this side. So maybe if we put it in like this, and if I shoot it out at the wall, maybe if we do it like that, and no, it doesn't do anything. It just drops out. But it doesn't transform when it comes flying out, which really does kind of suck. So you get it in there and try doing it again so you can see maybe. No, that's all it did. Nah, the gimmick just is terrible, and then you just slide that back as part of the transformation. Push the plunger all the way back in there, and then that separated. I just really do not like these data discs. I think it's a good idea. I just think it's implemented very badly. I would have preferred it so much more if you just made him a regular kind of transforming data disc. The transformation thing, like I said, there you go. He transforms, okay, but again, you got to transform him a bit yourself. So if the other ones are like that, I'm not going to be a big fan of it, to be totally honest. And God, I mean, it's just another gimmick. Now, I don't necessarily think that the gimmick ruins the Blaster toy. I just think the gimmick ruins the data disc. So getting rid of him, coming over to the Blaster himself, you can see very nice vehicle mode. Well, actually, this is supposed to be up like so, and it just kind of angles up there, so it's fairly floppy, so you just kind of have to wedge it up on there. Now, one thing that I'm actually impressed with is there's a lot of similarities between this and the War for Cybertron Deluxe class Soundwave, especially in terms of the transformation, but we'll get to that in a little bit. But this guy really does have a really kind of big feel to him. He does feel very hollow though because of his chest. But for a size comparison, here we have Blaster, and here we have the Deluxe class Soundwave. Now obviously there is a big size difference. Voyager class, Deluxe class. But in terms of the transformation, it's very similar between the two. I'm really kind of surprised that upsizing it to the Voyager size really didn't take a lot away from what we got initially with the Deluxe figure. But you can see a fairly similar look. He doesn't have the claw bits here in the front, and I believe the whole chest thing is different between this and Soundwave. Now the reason why I got Blaster and not Soundwave is because for me, this is a perfect representation of Soundwave. I didn't think he needed to be upsized like this. So by them upsizing the Soundwave figure, I just didn't have a need for that Soundwave. But when they made him into a new character, which is Blaster here, that in my mind kind of validated me actually picking up this mold. And I'm really happy that I did, because I think it works very nicely with this guy. Zooming in a little bit more just to kind of show you some of the details, I really like what they did. I mean, they got the really nice kind of Autobot logo here on the hubcaps, which is totally something that Blaster would have. Really nice kind of blue paint there. This is a bit of a drab kind of, I don't even know what color I would call that, but it's a drab color. But generally speaking, very nice vehicle mode. Now, Now for his accessories, in addition to Steeljaw, he does come with his blaster, which does have a very nice kind of original G1 look, especially with the little circle here. It just pegs right in there to the top, so you could have him go around shooting that, and I hate that aspect right there, but that's really kind of cool. Now, he does have, like I said, a very similar transformation to what we got with the deluxe figure, and I really do appreciate that. A lot of the similarities between these two really are kind of impressive. So to transform it, what you want to do first, come around here to this section, just slide that all the way up, and then you have his feet right here. Fold these up like so. Kind of detach these from the sides, just like so. You're going to rotate these down. This whole section here, this little back red section here, pegs in, and then just rotate that all the way around. Straighten out these legs like so, and then tab that into the underside of his torso. Take this right here, rotate that around. Do that on this side as well. Fold out the feet like so. And here you have his legs pretty much done. Come up to the top, you're gonna take the arms, fold these out just like that. Do that on both sides as well. You can take this, you can slide this all the way down, then pull this all the way out, rotate that down. Take this actual gray section here, rotate that, and then you're going to, I think something like this, leave this up like so maybe, and I don't remember exactly, we'll get to that in a second. Rotate this all the way back like that. Take these arms, these are going to detach up here, untab this, rotate this at this joint all the way up, rotate the arms down, rotate this back, do that on this side as well. Untab the arm, angle that up, rotate that down, rotate that to the back, bring these around like so. Obviously you see his head right there. Come around here to this back section, and then yeah, you're supposed to, actually I think it's supposed to stay like that. There we go. And then bring that towards his back, bring these in like so. Come around here to his hands, and this is kind of a pain in the butt to do because my fingernails aren't very long. Rotate the wrists there. Do that on this side as well. Rotate that around. And here you have Blaster in his robot mode. And like I said, very similar transformation to what we got actually with the deluxe version of Soundwave, which really does, you know, like I said, impress me. Now for his gimmick here, again, you can push the little button, opens that up, and you can take this guy, you can peg that in there, and you can push this all the way in. But when you start doing it, then you close it, but when you start doing it, you start seeing the biggest problem with this gimmick. It starts making his back get stupid. And by stupid, I mean it keeps coming out. Now, it can fit a total of 3 of these data discs. So if you push that all the way in, and I don't have any other data discs, but you can imagine other discs in there, that's what that does. That just looks dumb to me. I absolutely cannot stand that. It looks so terrible. Now, I mentioned that the gimmick doesn't necessarily have to ruin the figure, and that's because you don't actually have to keep this in here, and we're just gonna push him out, get these little wheels out of the way, and then and see, it shoots it all the way out, and he doesn't even transform. So you don't necessarily have to use that gimmick. So it doesn't really, in my mind, ruin the figure. It's part of it, and if you like it, you can use it. I just don't think it works very good. I mean, you put it in here, and again, I'm gonna put it in upside down. Maybe, you know what? Maybe if I push this back. No, son of a monkey! He transformed on me. I mean, this whole thing just is not very fun to play with. It really kind of bugs me. Okay, so now if I push that really hard, I wonder. Oh, God. I'm sorry, guys. Thank you so very much for putting up with me. It's been a long day. All right, so now we're just gonna sort of rest it in there. Okay, and the actual plunger is a little bit further back. Now, if I push this, I wonder if I can actually get it to explode out of him and transform. Let me see here. Let's see. No, see, it doesn't do nothing. That's how it is. And then I mean, I could slam it against the wall and it'll transform, but you don't necessarily have to use that gimmick. And that's why I think that it doesn't really all that badly hinder the overall enjoyment factor of this figure. Now, one thing that's actually really very cool is he's got this finger that's in kind of this hook shape, kind of like this or whatever, where it looks like he could reach up and, well, he could reach up and push that down. I mean, if he really wanted to. I mean, that's actually kind of cool looking. Now, the hand, the unfortunate aspect of the wrist is it flops all the way back, flops all the way forward. It doesn't actually stop. So that's as far as it will actually go up. I really wish there was a little piece of plastic there that would stop it from going all the way forward, just because that kind of makes him look derpy, I guess. But I mean, I really do dig this guy. Now, as you can see, the obvious difference is it's this color. He's more of a blaster color. He's got the blaster chest piece, but he also has a very nice new head sculpt. Zooming in so you can see that he actually has a little bit of a smirk kind of going on, which is really very cool. I really do dig that. And it's got some really nice light piping that you can see going on there. Let's block it. Light piping. So really kind of cool. Now, for a size comparison, here's what everybody has been waiting to see. How does Blaster stack up with that deluxe size figure? And as you can see, there's a huge difference. But again, this doesn't bother me so much because I'm able to look at this guy and completely see him as a different character. Yes, there are some similarities, but again, from the video game, the classes are kind of interchangeable. And I just really like this guy as a bigger figure. And as I mentioned previously, at least when it comes to the size difference, Blaster always was a bigger toy than Soundwave, so it doesn't bother me really all that bad. And standing next to his heroic Autobot leader Optimus Prime, you can again see that there is a big size difference. Now again, this is a deluxe size figure, so it is going to be a little bit smaller, but just for me, it really honestly doesn't bug me. I really do like this guy, and think when it comes down to it, he's going to be the best option for this particular mold. Now for his articulation, his head is just on a swivel, so it'll go left and right, and really, that's about it. It doesn't seem to go all the way around. Oh, no, yeah, it can. It goes all the way around, but no, I thought I just scraped some of the paint. That was going to freak me out. The arms here will rotate forward and back. They rotate out to the side like so. They rotate here at the elbow. They bend here. Nice ratchet joint here at the elbow as well. The wrists also rotate. They move forward and back. Nothing at the waist. Forward and back at the hip. In and out. Big ratchet joints here at the knee. They also rotate at the upper part of the thigh. And then the feet also have a rotation. So really super cool figure. I totally dig this guy. I mean, he just, I don't know, just works so much better for me in this configuration than the Voyager Soundwave. Now to transform him back, just rotate his hands. And again, like I said, transformation is so similar to what we got. It's really very cool. Take this section here, pull this all the way back like so, rotate this out. You're going to rotate this down, and then something like that. No, wait, or maybe it's going to go like that. I don't know. We'll worry about that in a second. Bring this up, angle this down, bring these, rotate these around like so, rotate this out, bring this up. That's going to peg in there on that side. Do that on this side as well. You're going to rotate this around, straighten that out, rotate this out, rotate this, untab that, rotate that around, bring that in, and you can see there's a little round peg right here that's going to tab into the section here. Bring that up like so, that tabs together. Bring this, push that nice and tight together like so, kind of hiding that. We'll worry about that here in a second. Rotate these wheels out just like so. Take this whole section, untab this, you're going to bring this up, that locks into place. Bring these hands down, those line up on the side like so. Do that on this side as well. This section here rotates up, and actually you want to keep that forward and keep it like so, then push that all the way up. Come around here to the feet or the legs, rotate these around, rotate the feet back, do that as well there. Rotate that around. You're going to bring this all the way around. Then these kind of come in on an outside angle and then push in and hook together. Then bring this down, and you're going to see a little kind of section right up here that's going to tab into that little bit right there. Peg that in just like so. Do that on this side as well. Bring that in, kind of hook that fold that section down, then rotate this back just like so. And well, then take this, these like to kind of separate, take this, kind of angle this up here, and here you have him back in his vehicle mode. Now, I want to thank my friend Deadman32 blah 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 Manny, my friend Manny. I watched his review of Soundwave, and he kind of highlighted this section as well. And I want to echo what he said, that I'm honestly not 100% sure if he came up with it. I know I didn't come up with it. I just saw his video. So if anybody else came up with this, I do apologize for not giving you the proper credit. I just saw it in his video. But you can take this and really kind of create that boombox mode, which some fans seem to really kind of like. Now, to do that, just kind of slide that up, untab this, take this, and separate this whole thing off to the side. You're going to bring this all the way down, untab this red section. I'm not good at it. There, come on. Untab that and bring this all the way down. Peg that in just like so. You're going to rotate these around like that. Do that on this side as well. Then take these arms, get these out of the way. They just kind of sit back there anyhow. Rotate these back. There we go. Get those all the way back, and then these just kind of, I actually like just folding them down kind of on an angle back here. Take this whole section, rotate this down and around, and then tuck it in. You're going to keep it right there. Rotate this section up, kind of rotate this around like so, something like that. Keep that pegged in there, kind of straighten that just so it's kind of like that, I suppose. Do that on this side as well. Rotate this whole section around, kind of rest that on the side, and here basically you have his boombox mode. Now, setting him off to the side, here is my customized Sound Blaster version of the deluxe class War for Cybertron, and as you can see, pretty similar in terms of how it kind of looks. Now, what I basically do here, you kind of have to use this as a balance to kind of keep it up. There's not really much else. I mean, you could. I mean, I don't even really think that there's, I mean, you could just kind of leave it like that, I suppose, but I like kind of keeping it a little bit more straight. With this, at least you could position these little bits here to kind of balance him up, but these sections here, as you can see, these don't rotate down, so you're kind of screwed with that. But that's kind of what I like to use for his boombox mode, and for me, that is a much better kind of alternate mode, I guess, for Blaster. It just seems to work a little bit better, I think, and again, further differentiates this guy from that Soundwave figure. But that's about it. That's all I can really think of, guys. And again, I don't want to take credit for this. I don't necessarily think that I came up with it. I don't know if my friend Manny came up with it. I don't know if somebody else came up with it, but I think it's cool, and I really dig the way that this looks. That being said, personally, I think that this is the better of the two uses of this mold. My reasoning behind it is just because I think that the War for Cybertron Deluxe Class Soundwave is a better scaled figure. Kind of goes along with the size of the rest of the Transformers and such. And Blaster being a new character, I don't necessarily have to be limited to those same kind of expectations, I guess. The vehicle mode is really pretty spot on. I like the way it looks. And the transformation, as I mentioned, is very, very similar to what we got with the deluxe one. It's so cool to see them actually keep the same transformation while actually upsizing the figure itself. And in robot mode, I really think that he looks fantastic. The gimmick sucks. Hate the gimmick. Especially these guys. This guy, the gimmick ruins this figure, but the gimmick at least doesn't ruin the Blaster figure. You don't necessarily have to use it, and it doesn't destroy the functionality of the figure itself, I don't think. But all that being said, this is a figure that I could see several people passing on, just because his size really does kind of throw him off. But I would recommend picking him up and giving him a try, guys. If you are interested in getting this guy and you can't find him in stores, go ahead and click on the link down in the video description. It'll take you to BBTS, and you can pick up this guy. And if you do, let me know what you think. I'm curious as your guys' thoughts on this particular figure, because I know I don't want to say there's controversy, but there's a lot of polarization with him. You either really like him or you really don't like him, it seems. But that's about it, guys. So thank you for tuning in. This has been Optibotimus. Keep in touch with me. Find out recent purchases as well as upcoming video reviews all at facebook.com/teambotimus and twitter.com/Optibotimus. And until next time, I'll talk to you later.
When the going gets rough, you've been put to the test.